Sports Show. Time to get the Southern Footy League, of course. There were 4. Now we're down to 2.
Pointy end.
Big grand final coming up. But let's talk to the Pres, Craig Warman. Craig, how are you, mate?
Good, terrific.
All right, let's have a look, mate. Noarlunga defeated Ranella 14-8, 10-9, 10. Anyway, those things happen, although they did get him a couple of weeks ago. But it looked like they jumped him in the first quarter and finished him off in the second quarter, and then it was pretty much over from there.
Yeah, exactly the way they played the week before against Flagstaff Hill. So they're in a rich vein of form at the moment, are the old Shoe Boys. So, yeah, looking forward to what promises to be a terrific game.
It sets it up, doesn't it? Because they were pretty good against Flaggies last time out. We were a bit surprised. We go, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
It's not as one-sided as we are led to believe. These boys are playing pretty good footy at the moment, Noarlunga, and that's a good win over Ranella.
It was a good win.
You know, that's 5 goals over a side that themselves were in pretty good form.
Yeah, exactly right.
So that sets it up for a big one. That's which I really like, because everyone a few weeks ago would have said
Flaggies,
see you later, bang, how far, whatever. Not anymore. Now it's a bit of, oh, okay, I might go and have a look.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And then you want to get it in early because there'll be a huge crowd there.
Well, that's the other thing too, Phil. The crowd at
Noarlunga.
That was amazing. Quite, a lot of people said that there were, they're 3-4 deep cars going all the way around Noarlunga. That is amazing. That is really amazing. Noarlunga wouldn't have seen that for a few years. I wouldn't have thought.
At Noarlunga, the grand final.
At South Adelaide,
yeah. So it's a nice one. I mean, that was decided pre, but it's a nice advantage for Noarlunga. So Flaggies, what have they got to do to win it, mate? Is it on Sam Jacobs? They've got to find a way to curtail the big source?
No, not necessarily. I think all across the paddock, it's going to be a pretty tight contest. If Noarlunga continue to play that fast Richmond chaos type football, play on at all costs and whatever, on a big ground, especially if the weather's haven't we lucked out with that?
Which is going to be good.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It'll go down to the wire.
All right. Who's your tip? Who are you going for?
Oh, no, you'd have to go for Flaggies, I think. Purely because they've been on top all year and they've been pretty good. So you'd have to say Flaggies, but not with the same amount of confidence that you would have done before. A few weeks ago.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, and I'll ask you where you're thinking, but they both finished 1 and 2 this year on the ladder. So I heard a comment the other day from one of the coaches in the AFL that the ladder doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Sometimes a team can finish 5th or 6th and go, but normally if your form's good, 1 and 2 are, which is what we've got. You think it could go Flaggies?
You certainly have to look at Flaggies, as Baz alluded to, undefeated. Yes, they were challenged, but they would have taken a bit out of that as well from the qualifying final. But my point would be, good sides know how to win. And when the pressure came from Noarlunga, Flaggies found that bit extra in that last couple of minutes
to get them
to win the game.
I guess what we're saying is we expect Flaggies to win, but we wouldn't be surprised if Noarlunga got it, whereas 2 months ago you would have gone, Flaggies have got it. So it's going to be a lot. So you need to get down. That's going to be a ripping game. There's been a fair bit that happened, mate. In the women's grand final, of course, Ranella got up over Flaggies. Now, this one's got a little bit to it because the women Flagstaff have won the last 4.
3.
The last 3, sorry, going for 4.
Yeah.
And of course, they've knocked Ranella over twice. So Ranella finally get one.
They did. And the joy on the girls' faces when the final siren went, you just had to be there to see it. It was a really good day for the girls.
Yeah. Now, apart from the girls' final, Ranella had a pretty good day.
Well, they did, mate. The under 14, the under 14 girls won. The under 15 boys won. The under 17 girls was Christie's. And then Ranella won the C grade.
So that's 4 in a day. 4 flags in a day.
5, so not too bad.
Yeah.
So the place was rocking last Sunday night down at Ranella,
Yeah, they had the air diffusion agency air conditioners were going. Hey, the male medal, of course, Monday night, you had your awards night.
Yes.
So Ranella did all right in that one too.
Well, they did. Big Mark Bolholm, the ruckman from Ranella, won the male medal. And that's the 3rd year in a row Ranella have won the male medal. Sammy Whitbread the year before and Elijah Ware the year before that. So a three-peat for Ranella in the male medals.
Yeah. All right. And in the women, mate, Emily Brockhurst for the women?
Yeah, terrific. She also won the league leading goal kicker award with 58 goals. So, she's the daughter of Andy Brockhurst, who used to play for SASS and Fitzroy.
Yeah. That's a lot of goals.
It is a lot of goals.
58.
Yeah.
And
That's a lot of goals.
Just going back to the grand final for a minute, mate. The lead in, normally there's the grand final breakfast, but then COVID came and a lot of that stuff had to stop. Will that go again or not?
No. We hope to resurrect that probably next year, but it's just too much in the calendar at the moment.
Well, let's get down to a couple of the big things. There's a couple of big things, mate. New club next year into the Southern Footy League. Can you tell the viewers a bit about that?
Yeah, I can. We were approached a few weeks ago now by the Ironbank Cherry Gardens Football Club to work through the process to see if there's a possibility for them coming into our league. We went up and spoke to all of their committee people, and they had a members' vote last week, and 89% of their members said it's time we leave the Hills Football League and join the Southern Footy League.
That's a big percentage of people. 89%.
Yeah.
You would expect a club that is moving leagues that there may be a little bit of
tradition's always hard to rock tradition,
but 89%.
And they'll be a perfect fit in the Southern Football League. They come with a full deck on Saturday. They bring girls and women's to our competition as well as they'll.
And they're not far away. They're only up the road.
Only 10 minutes north of Flagstaff Hill.
Yeah.
But they'll also bring mini league as well.
Wow.
Well, that's probably the second biggest thing that will happen to the Southern Footy League. The biggest event will be on December the 2nd, I reckon. Bit of beard shaving. Got to go on.
Beard shaving.
Can you tell us about that, mate?
Is that right?
Yeah, well, as you know, I started last year. I did the first men's march in the southern area. I was asked to grow the beard for 12 months by the ladies who organised it. We've come to the time now where we will redo the men's march. We were trying to make it an annual event. It will be an annual event with participation from the Southern Footy League. Once the march is done, at the end, finish up down the end of Rotary Park, down the bottom end of Beach Road there, the old beard comes off.
Did you ever think that the ladies may have just been telling you to cover your face?
You're probably right there, Baz. It could be a scary. I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked under there, but yeah. The whole idea is to raise money for the women's shelters and women's agencies in the southern area.
It's a great cause, mate.
And to that extent, there'll be donation buckets at our grand final day, and gold coin if you can throw it in the bucket, and all money raised goes to those charities.
Excellent.
It's a great cause. So, mate, just quickly in wrapping it up, mate, take us through grand final day, dates, times, what's happening grand final day.
Well, get there early. Is it?
Yeah, get there early.
if you want to park. If last week's any indication. We start off under 13s. They'll bounce the ball at 8:30, and that's Ranella versus Flagstaff Hill. Under 15s, you've got Port Noarlunga and Ranella, so Billy might get another flag there. Christie's Beach and Flagstaff Hill in the under 17s. You'd expect Christie's to win that. They're undefeated for the last 2 years in under 17 grade, so they've got some really good kids coming through.
Yeah.
They'll take on Flagstaff Hill. Flagstaff Hill and Happy Valley in the B grade. And in the big game, of course, the A-grade game, Flagstaff Hill versus Noarlunga, and that starts at 2:30.
Big day of footy.
And, of course, Tribe FM will be doing a live broadcast of that game.
Well, mate, always good. I'm sure we'll see you next week. Well, I may or may not be here, mate, but it will be a ripping game. You need to get down there and support your team. But not only that, it will be an outstanding day because it's going to be terrific weather. Yeah. And I reckon you're in for an absolute belter between Noarlunga and Flagstaff Hill.
Couldn't agree more.